I want you to know I'm speaking today to you as job seekers. And with that introduction that Victoria gave in terms of being an entrepreneur, I've had to calm my inner fears a lot over time. This is actually the second business that I have started and also began another business model within Silver Lining back in 2018. I'm hoping the sound is okay. I know when Christine's was coming through, it was not very good for me. Is everybody okay with the sound? Yeah? Okay, excellent, good. So I just wanted to start by letting you know that, most people who are seeking employment can feel nervous from time to time. It can be an anxious environment of, what will it be like? What will people think of me? What if I don't fit in? All of these things. So what I'm going to be speaking to is in terms of the interview process and also just in your new role, how to kind of build the best version of you as you are seeking to gain confidence in this. So I'm going to be giving you 7 quick tips to give you some confidence in your job search. I'm going to share my screen here now as we go through that. And we'll go from there. Just give me 1 second. Oops. Is my screen being shown already or no?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, just give me 1 second here. Renee, am I doing the right thing in screen share here?
I can't see your screen yet. So...
You know what? It's okay. I don't need to share my screen. I can totally go without that. So I don't want to take everybody's time on that piece. So give me 1 second here. All right. So my first tip, number 1, is just in terms of gratitude. For me, I think our mindset is really important, and it's a practice that we've started at Silver Lining Care to start our day being grateful. And it's amazing what that does. So one of the things, if you have a pen and paper that you could write down, is you can use different resources of getting some positive things into your inbox. If you're finding that you're feeling discouraged, one of the things that I like to do is I have signed up for an email it's from dailypositive.com. And it's just really great reminder in the morning when that comes into my inbox of the things that I can be positive about, and just to start my day with that kind of natural default of gratitude. Okay. The second tip is to smile. All right. So just try that. Smile. Even now, as you're listening, it just will help you to have those endorphins released. It's your dopamine shot for the day, and it really is a stress reliever. And not only that, it's contagious. When somebody is smiling, it's hard not to smile back. And so I just want to encourage you that that's really the best asset that you have as you're going through, is the attitude of gratitude, followed by a smile that will help you to have that stress relief. Many people don't know that. So even if you don't feel like smiling, just grin into the mirror and see what that does for you. Of course, you also need to ensure that going to your interview that you are not in sweats or tights. You got to be dressed in appropriate attire. And I would say that that's something that you can easily find out by searching business casual attire. And you should know what kind of tips, because that can also be stressful. Do I have the right thing to wear? So that's part of putting your best foot forward. The third tip is to do your research. So as you're going in for an interview or speaking to a potential employer, first know what job you're applying for. I've had people actually, when I called them, didn't remember that they applied for this job. And so that's actually really important, that you know what job you applied for, not only where, but what the job posting was. And follow the instructions. In our job postings, we indicate to complete our online job application. So if someone comes in with a resume, I wonder if they know how to follow basic instructions. So it's really important that you read through that job posting and know what it is that you are applying for. Look at their social media presence, their website, really know more about that company as you are going in for that interview to feel that confidence. Then the next point is just in terms of presenting yourself with confidence. Now, confidence does not mean arrogance, but it's that humble approach of knowing your value. So each of us was created with value. And one of the things that I did in the first business that I began is we did a lot with personality profiles. And just to understand more about yourself. Now, there is a lot of that available online now. Again, you can search that and you can go to many different personality tests that you can get just a kind of a brief view on. But I encourage you to do that because it will show you a lot of things about yourself that will increase your confidence, increase your value. And as you're looking that, or not increase your value is there. It will just help you to see what your value is, okay? And it will just increase your confidence in that. And as you're looking over that personality profile, just think about what are some of the words that are good descriptors that you would agree with, things about you that are, I often in my interview questions ask, tell me 3 words that best describe you. So think about some of those things in terms of your strengths and things about you that others would say are good. And also think about those areas. Often it's talked about weaknesses or areas to develop. Just think about those things as well, that you are recognizing the things that you have to improve on, and that you are making a plan to develop in that way. Then another quote that I have here is, the first step towards greatness is to be honest. So sometimes in those interviews, we are so afraid that we just want to kind of inflate perhaps some of the things or gloss over the parts that we're not proud of. But I want to encourage you to be honest. That's just going to go so long in your interview process. And if you don't know the answer, say so. And if you were let go from a previous job, explain and be honest about that. And along with the circumstances and how have you worked on that area to do better. All right. Then the 6th point is to be teachable. That is an area that I think I've learned a lot about in my career in human resources, but also now at Silver Lining, is how important it is to be willing to learn. And that starts in our own personal time as well. So I want to encourage you to develop yourself, read, increase your knowledge, get off of social media and read a book. That will also encourage you, because when you're on social media, you also look at what everybody else is doing and you don't feel confidence or value in you. You rather feel more negative about it. That will be one of my challenges too. I'm just going to share 3 books. It's really hard for me to only share 3 because I do love to read. And anyone who knows me knows I'll say, oh, I learned this in this book that I read. So the one is called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And you're not going to read that in a week, probably not even in a month. It's okay. But just use that as a bit of a guidebook in becoming effective and having good habits in your life. The second is Crucial Conversations. I don't know if any of you were there for I did a talk on that as well with the Chamber, Eastman Education here, not Education, Eastman Immigrant Services. So Crucial Conversations is definitely one of my favorite recommendations. It really helps you to have the tools to know how to deal with conflict in your personal life, in your workplace, in your community, any way, and doing that in a healthy way. And then another book that I have found really inspiring, and I actually read this book during COVID, during the pandemic, And I found it to challenge me to do fun, crazy things in my world. And this book is called Everybody Always. Chapters are short. I just love it. It was really inspiring. So get off social media, read a book. It's inexpensive. You can also get a resource like Audible to listen if you don't like to read, and expand your horizons on some of these things to become a person with confidence. Start a book club, do something like that. We actually started a book club this year too, where I meet with others every other Wednesday night, and we just read a book and talk about what we've learned. So that's a really great thing as well. Then my final point is this. You will benefit from finding a cheerleader. Either be your own cheerleader or find somebody who is going to cheer you on in this process, that will encourage you and motivate you in your seek for a different career, a new career, to be also, when you have those feelings of anxiety or fear about the future, someone who will be able to encourage you and support you along that path. So I'll just share a little personal story about that. I started my first company in 2010. And as I was debating about this and feeling really afraid about all of what the future would hold in this, and my best friend and we went to the same church, and she actually works with me at Silver Lining now. For the last 7 years, we've worked together here as well. But she prayed for me saying, Jesus, help Carolyn to know that you cannot catch her if she does not jump. And so that is my encouragement to you today. Jump. You've got this. You'll do great.